Hi guys, this is Banjo, and today I will be bringing to you guys a deck profile on my red yellow Shin Chan deck. So onto the cards. The first card I run are 3 of this red level 0 Shin. It's a level 0 suicider, so as long as either if you attack or if your opponent attacks it, as long as this card gets reversed and whatever it's facing it is a level 0, they both die. So it's there for field removal or just to get rid of one of your opponent's annoying level 0s that they have in the front row. It also has the ability where you can pay 2 when this card comes into play. You can look through your waiting room and select one family or kindergartner and add it to your hand, so you basically salvage one. It's really good because it doesn't have any negative cost. You don't have to discard or anything. You just plus off it. Usually I don't play this early game. I play this late game because early game I'm trying to build up stock. But just late game, you just play it and salvage. Even if your field is full, you just play it. Or if you have like an open spot, you can just play it, salvage your character, and just play it on top. Really good. It helps you out a lot during the late game. So the next card I run is 3 of this level 0 Shin's Friend Punching the Rabbit. Really good card. When it's by itself, it gains 1 level and 1,500 power. So if you start off the game, you can just drop it and it's a level 1, 1,500. You can, if it's the only card on your field, if your opponent has a Suicider, you can like run it over because you're level 1. But pretty good card to have. You can also combo it with this. You can like kill one of your opponent's level 0s and then, you know, attack an empty spot. And then now this team becomes a 3-5 and gains a level. The other ability it has is you can pay 1 and select one level 1 character your opponent controls in the front row and send it into the waiting room. So it's also removal purposes. You can just pay 1 to get rid of one of your opponent's level 0s. And then it also sometimes works late game when your opponent just plays level 0s just to get extra damage in. If they still have them on board, you can just play this, pay 1, get rid of it. And since they don't have anything in the front anymore, you can just like attack for more damage. The next card I run is 3 of this level 0 Himawari booster. It's a global 500 booster, and it only boosts his family though. There's only 2 cards in the whole deck that are not family, this being one of them, but it doesn't really matter because of its ability. And the other one's a level 1 Suicider, but I'll get into that in a bit. But pretty good card, global 500 boost to all your family. There's other level 0 global boosters in Shin Chan, but this is just preference of mine. And I'll show you why I also run it with other cards I'm going to show you guys in a bit. The next card I run are 2 of this level 0 yellow Brainstormer, Shin's Family Crying. So its ability is you pay 1, rest this card, mill the top 4 cards of your deck. For any climaxes among them, you get to potentially search through your deck for any family or kindergartner and add it to your hand. So, really good ability. Like, you don't minus at all. It's just plussing. You can leave this in the back. It helps you out during all points in the game. Just brainstorming and salvaging through your deck. Especially if you're running low on climaxes. If you see your graveyard is full of climaxes, you can just brainstorm just to throw cards so it doesn't become straight damage and then you lose. So really good card to run. Next card I run is 2 of Shin's Dad Hiroshi Laughing. So this card's a pretty good card. You can rest one of your family or kindergartner characters, and during your turn this card gains 1k boost. So if you have the Himawari in the back, if you have at least 1, he'll be a 3k, then you rest the Himawari in the back and he becomes a 4k. So it can potentially become a beater, and then obviously if you have 2 in the back, you're at 3-5, you rest 1, 4-5, climax 5-5. So you can get over a pretty good amount of level 0s. And then I also run this too because I need more yellow so I can play late game yellow stuff. So the next card I run is one of my favorites. It's really fun to run this card. It's a red level 0 Shin. I run 3 of these. Shin with the helmet. Really fun card to use. You can play mind games with your opponent essentially with this card. Its ability is if your opponent front attacks this card, you can send it into the waiting room and select one of your Shins driving the wheel or the bus wheel or whatever, dancing around on the wheel, from your hand and call it as a defending character. So if your opponent front attacks this, you can just send it to waiting room and call this out from your hand. Really cool card because sometimes your opponent like tries to level 0 suicide and then you're like, alright, so the waiting room, call out this guy, and this guy is a level 1. And that's why I also like running the Himawari booster things, because if you have 2 of them in the back, you can just get this out and it's a 6k beater, and then with its ability it becomes 7k. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But run 3, sometimes you don't even have it and your opponent's psyched out because like if they crash into a 0 and you just drop your a level 1 Shin, then you can basically wreck them at level 0. Really good card. I like running 3 of these. It's really cool and stuff. So next I run 4 of the card it technically changes into. Level 1 Red Shin driving the wheel. Really good card. It's 5k base. Himawari boosters in the back, 6. And then it also has the ability when if you have 3 or more other family kindergartner characters, this card gains 1k power. So if you have 2 Himawaris in the back and you change into this and you have at least something else, you're seeing at a really big, it's a 7k beater, and then you play Climax 8k. So you pretty much can get rid of any level 0s. And then at level 1 it isn't even that bad either. It's a potential 7 to 8k beater. Pretty good. It's pretty good. So the next card I run is 3 of this Shin's friend. I believe his name is Bo-chan or something like that. The guy that yo-yos a snot in the anime. But it's a level 1 red suicider. So whenever, or suicider, I think it's a level 1 or lower suicider. Yeah, it's level 1 or lower suicider. So a really good card, especially since your opponent starts playing or paying for costs and stuff at level 1. They start bringing out level 1s that they have to pay and stuff. So for field removal purposes and stuff. This card also does not get the boost from the Himawari, but for the most part you're just running into other level 1s, so it doesn't really matter that much. But really good, running 3 of him. The next card I run is 2 of this level 1 yellow Hima. Pretty good card. During your turn only, it gains 500 times all your family kindergartner characters. So if your field is potentially full, you're seeing at a boost of 2k. So now you're at 6, you're at 7, boosted 8, climax 9. So you can do some pretty big damage with this, especially at level 1. The only reason I run 2 is because it doesn't gain the boost during your opponent's turn. If this card gained the boost during your opponent's turn as well, like, it'd be really good. It also serves as a wall, but just 2. So the next card I run is 1 of this Shin's mom. She's like worrying or something. It's a level 1 red punch. Gives 1k to any of your kindergarten or family characters. But it also has the ability where you can pay 3 and you can get rid of, it's basically an anti-change. So if your opponent has anything, well, whatever level they have or higher, you can basically send it to the waiting room. So basically if they're at level 1 and they call out a level 2, you can just drop this, pay 3 and destroy it. Same thing like if they're at level 2 and they call out a level 3, you can use it like that. Pretty good. Your opponent doesn't even have to attack with the character that changed in. They can attack with something weaker and you can just drop the punch, pay 3 and get rid of it. So they don't even have a chance to attack. It's a pretty good card, especially since there's a lot of change. Especially with like newer sets and stuff coming out. There's change all over the place and stuff. Next, I run 1 of this yellow level 1 Himawari punch. It's free, 1,500 boost. I run it because sometimes your opponent gets over your level 1s or certain characters by like 500 or like 1k, so you can just drop this and beat them. And then sometimes your opponent doesn't even see these punches coming and you just drop them and they work. Next card I run is 2 of this yellow event. It's a level 1 pay 1 Shin's family portrait or taking a picture or something. Yellow event, pay 1. Its ability is you when you play, you check the top card of your deck. If it's a family or kindergartner character, you can add it to your hand. So you basically plus off that. But then it also has the ability where your whole front row, no, all your family and kindergartner characters for that turn gain 2k power. And you do not necessarily need to trigger the family or kindergartner character to get the boost or anything. The boost is in a separate effect on its own. So you basically have a potential to plus, and then your whole family or kindergartners gain 2k. This thing helps you out a lot at level 1 and higher. Like once you get to level 3 and level 2s, just by playing this event, you can pretty much get over a lot of stuff since most of the cards become huge and stuff. So the next card I run is one of this level 2 red pay 1 Shin Chan. He's making his dad sniff a shoe. It's from the movie. But it has the ability that when you drop it, you can give one of your kindergartners or family characters 4,500 power. Really good because it's just like, it's just to make your characters big during your opponent's turn. If they're trying to kill something, giving it 4 or 5 boosts pretty much gives it a big enough boost maybe to live, unless your opponent's character is attacking for like huge numbers like 21k and stuff like that. But really good, and it's an event punch too, so you can just drop it during your turn to make your something you have really big and just get over it. Next card I run are 3 of this level 2 pay 1 Shin's dad making soup. So see, when your opponent has like these waifu characters and stuff, you're beating him down with Shin's dad with the ladle, like GG. But it's a level 2 pay 1 yellow, has the ability during your turn only, it gains 500 for each of your family or kindergartner characters. So during your turn, if your field is full, he's a 10k beater, climax 11. If he's boosted, like if you have a level booster, then he gains an extra 1k. So you're seeing like potential 12 to 13k. He's just a beater. It's really good. You can just get over most of your opponent's stuff with this. But then I also run 3 of Shin's mom doing the laundry. So this card's a level 2 pay 1 yellow. It has the ability, it's a level booster, so whatever's in front of it gains 500 times its level. And it's really good because it's just a level booster and you can leave it in the back. But it also has a climax combo ability with this climax, which I run 4 of. It's the bounce climax. When you activate it, 1k 1 soul. When you trigger, you can bounce one of your opponent's cards. Just add it back to their hand from their field. So really good. But this card's good because her climax combo is you play this, pay 1, and call one of these dads from your waiting room. So you can just have these in the back, and then like let's say your opponent gets rid of your front rower stuff. As long as you have one of these dads in the waiting room, you can potentially just like draw this or something, pay 1, and bring a dad back. So if you have 2 of these in the back, you can just pay 2, play the climax, and call back 2 dads, and then all you need to do is play 1 card from your hand. It's just to get you advantage once your opponent starts like blowing up all your cards and stuff. Really good card. I like running this. The only problem I guess I see here is not having the dads in your waiting room, but like you can just like brainstorm and stuff to at least get 1, or you can play around with it. You at least always have 1 in the waiting room, but really good, especially since they're just in the back. You can just play the climax, pay 1, and get field advantage. So now to the 3s, I run 2 of this level 3 yellow Shin. It's level 3 pay 2. When this card comes in, you can heal. So you take the top card of your damage and send it into the waiting room. And it gains permanent 1k boost if you have 3 or more family or kindergartners. So if your field is full, doesn't really matter. But if, like, let's say you have this and you have 3 or more, he's a 11k, and then you have the level booster, so now it's a 12-5. And if it's in the middle, it's a potential like 14, climax 15. So in essence, it can potentially become a beater. But mostly I use this just for healing. So the next card I run is 2 of the trial deck Shins, level 3 pay 2 yellow. I'm eventually going to take these out and just replace them with the red. But since I don't have them yet, I'm just running 2 for the meantime. When it comes into play, you mill the top 3 cards of your deck. And basically, if there's any family, you can choose 1 family or kindergartner from the 3 that you like picked up or whatever, and add one to your hand, and then send the rest of them to the waiting room. So it just pluses you 1 from there, and when it comes into play, he gains 500 for every kindergartner family. So if your field is full, you're seeing a boost of 2k, boosted maybe 13 if you have the level booster more. So he basically becomes big as well. And that's basically why he's here for now. But eventually I'm going to take him out to run a whole playset of these. This is the level 3 pay 2 red Shin. One of the best cards in the whole Shin Chan thing set or whatever. And I also run 4, the climax thing for it. 4 gates, 1k 1 soul. When you activate it, when you trigger it, you salvage 1 from the waiting room. But this Shin's really good. Has 3 effects. The first effect is if you have 3 or more of the kindergartner characters, he permanently gains 1k. So he's at 11. If you have the level booster, you're seeing 12-5 to potential like 14s and stuff. Then climax, even higher. But then his other ability is when he comes into play, you can check the top card of your deck. If it's a family or kindergartner character, you can burn your opponent for 1. So, like, eventually when I get another one, like, if you save up stock and stuff for your level 3, this can be your potential endgame. Because just by calling all 3 of them in, you're burning your opponent for potential, like, 3. They can cancel, though, but, like, they still have to burn for 3. And not only that, but its climax combo ability makes it, like, even better. They potentially become, like, huge beaters and, like, domino effects. So when you play the climax, the Shin gets the ability when he attacks. Whenever he attacks, your whole front row gains 2k power, and you can take 1 card in your opponent's waiting room and put it to the top deck. So, like let's say you don't even have any boosters. You just attack with the first Shin, since you have 3 of them in the front row. They'll be at 12 because of the ability. And since he attacked, you're seeing this thing at like 14. Get 1 card from your opponent's waiting room, put it on top, and then you do your damage and stuff. And then you attack with the next one. And now this one is gains another, the whole front row gains another 2k. So it just domino effects up, and then you just, basically the last one's going to be like huge, and you can beat down your opponent with it. So that's it for this deck profile. Like, comment, and subscribe and stuff. Bring you more deck profiles. I might put up Attack on Titan later. So yeah, like and comment and stuff. And see you guys next time.